I'm Mike Henderson. I am a business partner in the Customer Success Department of Anaplan based in Minneapolis. Um, a couple of things that I decided to take on as an interesting challenge were how to do distance calculations, latitude and longitude of two different points. You should be able to compute the bird as the bird flies, as the crow flies, distance between the two of those, and then applying it to a business case. And then the second challenge I took on was how to push Anaplan data to Google Maps in order to visualize information. So I'd like to show you a quick demonstration of this hotel market analysis application that I built. This was built as an independent exercise. It happens to be configured for Radisson Hotel Group at the moment. It can easily be switched so that the center of attention is Marriott, Hyatt, Hilton, Accor Group, whatever, basically any global group that you wish. The data in this model is entirely from the public domain. It is from geonames.org and the Census Bureau and other public sources. There's no customer proprietary sensitive information in this model. All right, so as you might imagine, a hotel property's success or failure is dependent on how many travelers come to visit and how much competition there is to provide those travelers a place to stay. So what I've done is created an ability to select a property, select a hotel, draw a circle around it, and the circle happens to be 100 miles for for airports, or 10 miles for other neighborhood demographics, competing hotels, employers, etc. All right. And so basically what we'll do is we'll choose, let's go to Illinois as a for example, and let's choose a Radisson property in that area. St. Charles is an area that I'm familiar with, western suburb of Chicago, and I hit refresh here, and I can see that within 100 miles of St. Charles is the Milwaukee airport is 73 miles away. That's pretty far. It may handle 3 million passengers, but O'Hare and Midway are much more important to delivering traffic to that particular hotel, but not horribly important because they're 19 and 28. This isn't like an airport property that has a lot of visitors coming through because they're, say, airline flight crews and what have you. So we see that information. I've given them a scoring system, which is the number of passengers that fly through that airport, thanks to FAA information, divided by the distance squared to give them a score. You could imagine that you could also set up a scoring mechanism for competing hotels. For example, the hotel we've chosen here is in the upper mid-scale zone. It probably doesn't compete, the Country Inn and Suites doesn't compete with the Ritz-Carlton and other luxury hotels. So you might rate, based on the hotel chain. They've been assigned a chain rating by an independent consulting firm, whether they're 1 through 6-star hotels, and the difference in that rating would be important. If you're head to head, another, the Comfort Inn, the ones here in red are the ones where you're more or less direct competitors in the same scale, and the distance. All right. Another thing that you might be interested in is people. The demographics of the surrounding area is important to a hotel because people have weddings, people have funerals, people have go to the hospital, people have out-of-town guests, people have there are a variety of reasons why travelers come to an area. And so you might look at the demographics of an area and say, Is this area growing or shrinking? In general, Illinois is losing population. I can see that dear little Mooseheart, Illinois, with a population of 307, is expanding. But other than that, in general, this West Chicago area is in decline. And the median ages, as I scan down here, seem to be some. Let's use the tool. The median age in the United States of America is 38. The median age in this area is 39. So it's, skews slightly older than average. Travel destinations. If you're the hotel across the street from Disney World, you're probably attracting travelers because of Disney World, right? Well, there's a variety of things like stadiums, museums, state parks, business parks, etc., which attract leisure or business travelers. All right, and there are Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered in the area. I'm surprised that Abbott isn't on this list. I would expect Abbott to be within 10 miles of St. Charles, Illinois, but I may not be. I may not be right there. In any case, the pièce de résistance on this thing is that I've given it the ability to visualize information on a Google map. So this, unfortunately, is going to take a while to load, so I'm going to pause my recording here for about 30 seconds. My web server is running here on my laptop, and that accounts for the speed here. My intention is to put this application up on the Google App Engine, and I expect that it will perform much more quickly. But as you can see here, we've drawn a circle that's 10 miles in diameter around our property, which sits at the center of this bullseye, and we can do what we do in Google Maps. We can zoom in. We can see that this particular property here is the Hilton Garden Inn in St. Charles. The Pheasant Run Resort and Spa is there. Over here on the river is the Hotel Baker, an independent property. It provides information about them where it's known. For example, the Hotel Baker, I would suspect, is a independent hotel. It's not part of a chain. Whereas this one here, the Fairfield Inn and Suites, we can see that that is owned by Marriott International, and it's in the Fairfield chain, and the Fairfield chain is an upper mid-scale restaurant in the distance and what have you. So there's various bits of information that are displayed here on the map. Not going to pause. So returning to the main menu, I've put in some other analytics into this model. For example, here we can see that Marriott's, how they are distributed across the United States of America. There are 543 Marriott properties in the state of California, 493 in Texas, and almost 600 of them in Florida. They're relatively less concentrated here in the north central area. On this side, I've taken and done the math of dividing the number of hotel properties by the population in order to see, to normalize things. As you can see, there are 13.3 Marriotts per million people here in Minnesota, whereas in these big vacation destination areas, look at that, there's almost 38 Marriotts per million residents of the state of Hawaii. Another analytic that I built into this model, there are plenty more that could be done, is, for example, we can look at the Marriott chain and we can see that they have 0 economy hotels. The Marriott does not serve the low end of the market, the Rodeway Inn, the Red Roof Inn, etc. They have no mid-scale. They start at the upper mid-scale area. Upscale hotels are their strength, are their powerhouse. Upper upscale, those are 5-star, and they have 80 luxury or 6-star hotels in the chain. And there's a variety of tabulated information here about them. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that little show. If you'd like to learn more about how I do distance calculations and how I did the throwing information, exporting information to Google Maps and delivering that in map form, go ahead and reach out to me. Again, I'm Mike Henderson, michael.henderson@anaplan.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much. Goodbye.